remotely in the beautiful city of Vienna, Austria. Daily, I tend to commute to my remote office in the center of Vienna and enjoy some of the beautiful older architecture we have around here. The subway lines are very useful on a daily basis. I don't have a personal car. Other times I just walk because I enjoy the beautiful buildings. And it's a great experience and opportunity to be a coffee shop. I can choose to go to my remote office, or I could just do the same to me and I get the same enjoyment wherever I am. Daily schedule, so to say, I just try to improvise on a daily basis. The flexibility is always there and I can always choose what in order to keep it going. It's an amazing feeling. One of the biggest, the fact that I started off just as a simple observer. I wasn't aware of the huge community value behind the whole concept, and I was just searching for clients initially. The value lay hidden within them, and I got so entertained by that I started to spend more and more time on the forums because of me being online most of the time, and that led to if I were to think how I would define our community, some people would say it's a group of authors, a group of... When someone asks me where I'm working my stuff at Envato, I enjoy every day on the passionate, unlike any job. I'm growing with Envato.
A lot of people are wondering whether or not something as big and expensive as the iPad Pro will fit into their lives. For designers, it has a whole different value proposition. I'm a designer. I had high hopes that this new device would take some of the load off my laptop. Basically, it would transform me into a rockstar designer. I had the chance to use the iPad Pro for my job over the past week, and while I couldn't do everything I wanted to on the iPad Pro, it did a lot more than I thought it would. My day-to-day usually revolves around various Adobe programs. So when I got the iPad Pro, I immediately downloaded Draw, Sketch, and Comp. I was really curious to see whether I could integrate my current projects into the various Adobe apps and get as much done as I normally would on my MacBook Pro. I used Draw to illustrate Donald Trump for a news feature. I used Sketch to create a quick sketch for one of our designers to give direction on a new infographic. And I used Comp to create mood boards and wireframes for a site design. I really liked using Adobe Comp on the Pro. I could definitely work this app into my daily workflow. Another plus, once you're logged into Adobe's Creative Cloud, you can send files to your desktop that are fully editable. But I wasn't as impressed with the other iPad Pro versions of Adobe apps. For someone just trying to sketch or do a wireframe, these are great. Anything more high fidelity, I found too heavy and complicated to do, and I ended up reverting back to my laptop programs. I also found that shortcuts I always used in Adobe Illustrator didn't work in Adobe Sketch or Draw. Apple's new stylus pencil is pretty awesome. I've tried a few different brands of styluses in the past and never have been wowed like I am with this one. It's comfortable in the hand. And it's really precise. There's virtually no lag when taking notes. It's fast and keeps up with my messy writing, almost making it better. I did notice that writing in other third-party apps like Paper 53 and Adobe Sketch, there's a little bit more latency, but it still worked well. Usually, I make a sketch for one of my designers on paper, take a picture of it, email it, and then explain what some tiny squiggle is. Now, I just sketch with the pencil and email it from the iPad Pro. A lot of designers might wonder how the iPad Pro handles both multi-touch and a stylus. Also, because of palm rejection software, there's no issue with your palm being on the screen as you write and sketch. Overall, I was impressed with the iPad Pro. Its giant screen and its processing power, along with the accessories, could have a huge impact on my day-to-day workflow. Where I think this falls short, though, are some of the limitations around working with mobile apps. I'm hoping that the apps will continue to improve and match the fully powered desktop versions I'm used to. It's not quite there yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if one day I swap my MacBook Pro for the iPad Pro.